What are you thinking? Sorry, kid. You're just gonna have to wait till you're older.
Well, what is up, City Group? My name is Christian Germano. I am a part of Radiant College, and I'm super happy to see you here today and be with you here today. And it's a great Sunday to be talking about our new collection, Too Young to Be Done. But before we begin, we have so many great people in the room, and if you're here for the first time, we just want to honor you. You could be doing anything right now. You could be catching up on homework, hanging out with your friends, hanging out at the beach, playing video games, or maybe just sleeping. But we're happy that you're here, and it's a big deal, so we just want to give it up for you. We also have some amazing small group leaders here in the room today. They're here to hang out with you, and I would highly recommend just to hang out with them, talk to them, connect with them, maybe get their phone number, exchange Instagrams, because they're going to be the people that will support you throughout this life. So I highly encourage you to connect with them. It'll be a great opportunity for you to make some new friends and to have a mentor to speak in your life, because that's really important. Speaking of amazing people, didn't Susanna do an awesome job kicking off our new collection, Too Young to Be Done, talking about young people in the Bible who've done amazing things? We're going to continue that collection by talking about another amazing person, and his name is Timothy. Everyone say Timothy. We shouldn't disqualify ourselves by rushing through the season that we're in, because being young is tough. We want to do so many things, but for example, you can't drive a car until you're 16. You can't buy a house when you're in middle school. You can't play in the NFL as a high school student, and you can't be the president of the United States right now with the age that you're in. Although that was a dream that I had when I was your age. But there are still a lot of things you can do with the season that you're in. Charles D'Amelio just got over 100 million TikTok followers as a 16-year-old, and as a 17-year-old, Pele got to play in the World Cup. And Gabby Douglas, just at 16 years old, earned a gold medal for competing in all-around Olympics on the US Olympic team. And as we're about to talk about in this collection, there's a young guy in the Bible named Timothy. Timothy was considered a young leader in the church. He was mentored by a guy named Paul. And in fact, Paul actually wrote 13 books in the New Testament that we read today. Timothy had an amazing mentor, but because he was young, people looked down on him. At one point, Timothy's mentor, Paul, tells Timothy to confront the church of Ephesus with something huge. This was a huge task, and it was really hard for him, but people looked down on him over something he couldn't control. And what was that? His age. But again, Timothy had an amazing mentor named Paul. This was a secret sauce to life for him. And I think it's a secret sauce to your life as well. Having a small group leader will be so essential for you because they can help you, they can develop you, they can lead you through any and every situation that you can experience. So Paul wrote a letter to Timothy in chapter 4, verse 12, and he writes, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." Paul is telling Timothy, hey, I know you're younger than these people, but age is something you can't control, but you can control your conduct and your speech. God cares more about what you do and say more than about your age. And what's so great about this letter is that right after verse 12, Paul encourages Timothy to not give up on his gifts, to see how he can grow and develop and to press into what God has called him to be with these gifts. And that's what I encourage with you today. What are your gifts? So here's my challenge for you today. We all have goals and challenges that we want to accomplish in our life, but sometimes we allow our age to be a disqualifier for when we can accomplish them. So for an example, when I was in high school, I had this dream and passion about telling everyone about Jesus and how awesome he was, and I wanted to start at my high school. So I had this opportunity to share and preach about at this event with FCA called Fields of Faith. And that was an opportunity where I got to really step into my calling and tell people about Jesus. And after I got done with my testimony and said my speech, a lady came up to me with tears in her eyes and she says, "Thank you. I needed to hear that from someone in the season that I was in." But God didn't wait for Timothy to get older to use him as a way to help the church of Ephesus. Luckily for Timothy, he had the gifts that God had given him to help the church of Ephesus at that time. And also, he had a great mentor named Paul who helped him with what he needed. He encouraged him when times got hard, and when he didn't know what to do, he helped develop the skills that God had given him. So here's the challenge. What goals and accomplishments have you been putting off lately that you can actually achieve today? And what mentor can you have in your life that can really help you in the same way that Paul helped Timothy? And as we break off into small groups, I highly encourage you to really show up and open up, because this can really be the motivation that you need to accomplish that all God has called you to do and to be. All right, it was great hanging out with y'all, and I hope y'all have a great time. Peace.